Good day, people. This is Rey Grandoit, and today I'm going to talk to you the day I met my beautiful wife, Melanie Grandoit, at the time Williams, and I was in a service, and a pastor maiden, I believe, was preaching about dreaming big. If you would ask God for something, don't dream small, dream big. And during the service, in my heart, I asked for two things. I said I wanted a wife and I wanted to walk. And ironically, when the service was done, about 5 minutes later, I'm leaving the sanctuary, and this girl walks up to me and says, "Do you need prayer for anything?" And I'm like, "No, I don't need no prayer." And mind you, I just asked God for two things: a wife and to walk. And I was a little apprehensive because I just don't let just anyone pray for me. So she's like, "You sure you don't want to walk? You don't want a wife?" She mentioned the two things that I prayed for. And I said, "Yes, I'll receive the prayer." So I believe she put her hands on my back and started praying. I felt some movement, some tingly feeling. And then from there, so she took her hand and she put it on my spinal cord, and she began to pray, and I felt like this tingle feeling. And I'm like, okay, it feels something's working. Definitely felt the power of the Holy Spirit through her hand and through her prayer. And then afterwards, we was talking, and she said, "You're gonna walk down the aisle." And I just had this quick vision of like, "No, you gonna walk down the aisle." But I didn't say it to her, and it was just weird. And then she just looked at me kind of funny, and I was like, "All right, thank you for your prayer." And that was that. And then we just reconnected maybe a few months later, and we became friends, and we started to build a relationship. It's funny because at that time, I really was focused on my relationship with God, and my father just passed, and I just had I just dealt with medical issue after medical issue after medical issue after medical issue. So for me, I was at a place in my life where I was just fed up. I didn't really have energy or focus. I didn't have energy, or I didn't have the focus or the time for any female at that time. And to be honest, I didn't really know if I could even afford. In fact, no, I couldn't afford a girl or a wife at that time because it cost money to go out and do things. So it wasn't even in my vicinity. You know, I thought about it, something I wanted, something I desired, but it just wasn't in my vicinity. However, that's why I believe having faith and having tenacity and perseverance to work at something or yourself when you want something. And so for me, I worked on myself a lot, and things began to open up for me as I would work on myself. Definitely wasn't easy. There was a lot of things that were exposed about myself that I didn't like, and a lot of things that I had to work on. And till this day, there's still things that I'm working on, and God is working with me to work on those things. And so it's a blessing that I'm married. However, I want to encourage you, when you want something, understand there's a responsibility tied to it. And so if you're not ready for that responsibility, that blessing could become a curse. So a lot of the times we want these things and we're not ready for it. And I think marriage and children are things I don't think you're ever really ready for. But there are certain things that you can do to prepare yourself to be ready for enough to sustain and for it to be a blessing. I can talk about certain steps, but that's a whole nother video. However, there was a thought, I didn't know if I would ever get married or ever have children. However, I do. And I think the simple fact of the matter remains is because it was faith, and it was because I walked towards it, and because I wanted it, and I was open to receive it regardless of how it looked like. And my wife is a very faithful, Proverbs 31 woman, rubies and gold who can find. She is a true blessing to me, and I'm very grateful for her. And I hope one day you can find someone that supports you, loves you, cares for you, fights for you, and believes in you, because it's possible, I believe. And so remember that you were born to inspire, so own it. Like, share, subscribe, and share this video with somebody who believes in love and somebody who needs to be inspired. Because I was paralyzed at the age of 14. There's a lot of things that I wanted and desired. However, my life changed, and I'm still able to do what I want to do. However, I just do it differently. Thank you for watching.